Hi and welcome to a really quick garden update. I just thought I'd show you around the garden. There's so much going on today. I've come back from work, Paul's been working hard, and I'm going to show you some of the changes that have been taking place. While I've been at work, Paul's been literally bashing hell out of what used to be the rockery. Now this has formed a focal point in the garden for many decades, but it's time for a revamp, and we're going to have this as our seating area. As many of you might know from the other video that, we've mentioned it in other videos, and Paul's did a video about that as well, talking about, well, we both did, talking about the changes that are going to be taking place. So much is happening. It's really exciting. Now, he's been having trouble with these rocks because, as you can see, they're firmly cemented in. They've been there for so long, so we're really going to have to get to grips with those eventually. But what Paul's been doing is moving the soil from this area here. He's literally got the plants into pots, so everything's been saved. We're keeping everything, and the rest of the soil has come over this side here, which used to be, as you'll remember, a path. And then we had this area as staging. Many of our tomatoes have been here before now, and Paul's using this area as a storing area for the soil that's been taken out of the rockery. There's so much going on though already. I'm noticing this border is beginning to take shape. There's been a lot of cutting back going on. Now, there might be a lot of action appearing in this border, but something that I can show you, this is before and after. If you follow me over to this side of the garden, you will see the finished products. This is how the rest of the garden's going to look. It's not going to be all looking like that does over there. Every year we cut back and give everything a layer of sometimes compost, but mainly horse manure. We do use manure, and that's what's been happening here. There's still a few bits and pieces, still a few areas to fill in with the manure, but everything's been cut back. It looks neat and tidy. This is how it's going to look. This is how our garden starts. This is how most perennial gardens start. So you end up with literally everything being cut back to the ground virtually, and then from that cut back emerges all this wonderful, magnificent new growth. And by the time the summer comes, well, for those of you that already follow our channel, you'll know exactly what the garden looks like. It's stunning. It's amazing. It really is the place to be. So much to show you, so little time, so I'm going to press on. Since I've been at work today, yesterday was quite cold, it was cloudy. The magnolia tree has come into bloom literally overnight. So I've been at work, they're working away in school. I've come back to this beautiful site. Now, as many of you know, magnolias are pollinated by insects and not by bees. That was because they have been on the earth a lot longer than the bees have. These are really beautiful trees to have in a small garden, and I just believe that, if you're looking for a compact tree, a magnolia is certainly the place to go. So you'll see it covered in insects, and they are the ones that pollinate the tree. This is Magnolia stellata, really beautiful variety, and it's quite a slow growing variety. I've noticed that this takes a long time to establish. All the time that we've been in this garden, it seems to have kept its shape. I know when we first came, there was a lot more branches coming over this bit of the garden, and we've trimmed those back, but it's still pretty compact considering the size it was when we came here over 3 years ago now. So it's looking good. It's a really nice one because it opens to white, but it has, if you look, if you can notice on the back of the petal, this pink tinge running through, lovely pink along the side there and along the back, and when they first open up. So, but the front of them is a beautiful white, really lovely variety. I'm just really excited. I've got back. I didn't expect to see all these changes taking place. I certainly expected the rockery to still be there, and most of it, as you can see, has been demolished, and it's great. We've got trees over there. We've got an apple tree that will be going into this section here. We have mentioned it before, but I'm going to mention it again because it's going to be a really nice tree. There used to be an apple tree in this area many decades ago, and it was here for many decades as well, and that used to stand here. And we thought, as a special tribute to the garden, while we're making all these changes, we're going to replant an apple tree there, and it will grow really nicely. The Fritinia, or red robin, has done really well. That's been in for a very long time. As you may remember, for those of you that have been following us for a long time, when we came to live here, this was quite a big shrub. We cut it back to allow more space and further planting. Now, I do believe that it's time to, as we're doing the garden properly, we're revitalising the garden, we do need to take this out. So that's sad, but in many ways it's an opportunity to do something else. And like I said, the apple tree will be fantastic then, provide us with apples that we can eat. And it's just lovely how there used to be an apple tree there originally. Making way for lots more planting. As you can see, that's already here. We've got geranium, mycorrhizum in here at the minute. Some of this will be thinned out. I think a lot of it will go because we've already got some in the border over there, or we did have, but I'm noticing that it's been taken away. So we're keeping that here then. That's another change that's taken place. While Paul's been doing the borders, he's taken the geranium mycorrhizum out from behind there, and we've still got this here. So we don't know what's going on eventually, but we will keep some of this because it really is a nice geranium to have. The foliage is always quite scented of this one as well. It has that quite an unusual scent, so it's a nice one to keep. But I want to show you the tree that's just over there that's going to be in this spot. We've also got two trees to go in. We've got the apple tree that's going over there, and over this side, somewhere along here, there is going to be a beautiful sorbus. Now, this is a staging area. There's lots of things going on at the minute while we're making changes in the garden, so it's not very tidy, but there's lots of pots with lots of beautiful things in that will look great eventually once they're back in the garden. Now, this is a sorbus. This one's called Autumn Spire, and that's going to be lovely. That's going to go over that side of the garden, so that's going to be lovely up against the fence there, and it has these beautiful coloured berries on, and the birds will definitely have a feast on those. Autumn Spire, really beautiful name as well. And then we've got an apple tree there, which is, that one's going to go in, and that's going to be lovely when we get that in the garden as well. This is quite a low growing variety. It's not going to be a thug, it's not going to take over, and it will take quite a few years to establish. As you can see, it's quite small as well, but it's going to be perfect where the Fritinia is at the minute. I'm just noticing this beautiful biennial wallflower. This is a really nice one, absolutely gorgeous sunshine yellow, and I really am noticing the scent from this. So if I can just, that is beautiful. Beautiful on a sunny day like today, because it's quite warm as well. That is such a welcoming sight, very vibrant in the garden. As I say, so much going on. The soil's been stored over there. I'm just overstimulated, there's so much happening. I want to show you some of the things that are going on in this bed. Now, ultimately, this area is going to change beyond recognition. I'm so excited to let you follow us on this journey, because it's going to be totally different from how you see it now. As you saw, we had the path there, we had the slate along this side, and this area we used to use for staging. Path ran along, and then we've got this thin narrow border, quite typical of houses that were built around the time that ours was in the 1930s. Now, you know, with the grass as well in the middle, this is going to change completely. We're going to have, it's going to be soil, plants, perennial planting, okay, prairie planting I should say. So lots of prairie plants are going to be, just fill this area. We're going to have a path that runs, that starts here where this cane is. So it's going to pathway, garden either side. Okay, so that's quite a big stretch of garden we've got going on there. In this case, we might keep this little area here for staging and take this away. I know this is a beautiful shrub, this cotoneaster, but it's going to have to go because we want some things against the shed there. So we can use staging against there, but we've got the path there. That's a perfect width for a path. It can fit a bin down, it can fit other things down, and allows you to freely walk along. So that's going to run all the way along. Then on this side, you've got prairie planting this side, and a beautiful seating area here, and with the backdrop of the lamp as well, which is going to be really lovely. A nice place to sit at the end of the day, beginning of the day, or into the evening. Just a place to sit, to chill. Nice table and chairs. It's going to be great when it's finished. like I say, lots of prairie plants in. So all Paul's favourites in there, and my favourites as well, but certainly Paul's favourites are going in. I do want to show you something. It seems to get better by the day. So our beautiful Prunus nigra. Now I made a short video about this. I think it went on with the shorts, and it was just about how beautiful this tree is for a small garden. It's quite compact. It will grow bigger, but it's easy to keep in shape over the years. You know, in another 5 years time, it might want a bit of pruning, but at the minute it's fine as it is. But Prunus nigra, perfect for the small space. And not only that, the blossom is gorgeous. And the one thing that stood out for me, because it's a memorial tree for our cat son Ben, I wanted foliage that was different. And at the garden centre, when I was there, I just saw it straight away and fell in love with that foliage. What's not to like about it? It's perfect. I like green, but obviously in a garden we can have a little too much green, and it's nice to have contrasting foliage, and this certainly does the trick. The blossom smells beautiful, and I just think it's really nice. It's a little earlier than many of the cherry blossoms. It's quite an early variety. This has been open for a few weeks now, in blossom, in bloom, but it's stunning. I absolutely love it. Rosa Super Dorothy is looking better than ever because Paul's been doing some work on the fences. He's painted them, and also he's had to untie Rosa Super Dorothy, paint the fence, nail any panels that are coming away, and then tie it back up. And look, she's looking amazing. She seems to have spread more so far this year. I think it's just that she's been trained against the fence properly, but this looks amazing. It's going to be lovely in summer, and I'm looking forward to this year her going over the top of the fence. I'd really like to see that. I'm hoping that happens. Lots going on. Rosa Sweet Honey's been cut back. As I say, this is the time now when everything's been cut back, most of the garden anyway, not all but most. And as I say, Paul's got a lot of things in pots going on, things that we've saved from the rockery, saved from other areas of the garden. There is something nice to go in this area here, because what's happened is the cutback's been done. It's had lots of manure on, which is great, but because there was I don't know whether you remember, there was this huge tree here coming out on an angle, and it did block up this area, but it's become quite open. And really it would be nice to have something with a little bit of height that's perhaps evergreen. And we found the perfect thing, if I can come and show you. It's a ceanothus, and that is over this part of the garden, so right near to the house. And it's a lovely one, and it's called Italian Skies. And this is the perfect size. This will grow, Italian Skies, it will grow quite big ultimately. It's got 2 meters by 3 meters, that's 6 foot by 10 foot. It doesn't have to grow that big. You can keep it in check, but it's a really, really nice shrub, and will create that evergreen that we're looking for with the beautiful blue flowers on as well. Now, what I'm going to do is take that over to the area where it's going to be, and just follow me. I'll try not to trip over on all this slate. It's looking good though. I'm really impressed with it. I'm so impressed. You go out to work and you come back and all this stuff's been done. Absolutely amazing. So this is going to go in this area here. I'm thinking, yeah, that's the right way around. So around there, say in the middle there, and ultimately that will take over. There's a buddleia there as well, lovely white buddleia that used to be just around the side of the conifer there. Conifer's had a trim, looks good, done next door side as well, so it looks nice and tidy for next door. Also done the conifer on that side, so that's looking good as well. It hadn't been, I'd sort of clipped it last year, but it wasn't at its best. And with everything that's going on in the garden, and I'm hoping for a really nice summer this year, we want it to look great. And so I thought, do you know what? Got Paul some electric hedge clippers for Christmas, and I thought, do you know what? Let's use them. So I dug those out and used them, and they look absolutely fantastic. Really good on the conifers, but that's going to be great there. It's going to fill this space in. It's going to give an element of privacy. We don't want a fortress. Okay, that's the last thing we want. What we do want is that element of privacy and something like to look at, because this fence has been in such a long time now. It's not the original fence, there's been a few fences here, but this one's been in quite a long time, as you can see, and it's fallen to pieces. So that's ultimately going to need replacing. But for the meantime, in the meantime, we can create an illusion that everything's okay with the fence by having the ceanothus there, and that will do its job. I like the blue of these flowers. There's nothing you can beat with that, honestly. Italian skies, what a name. It's going to be amazing, you just know it is. This was a viburnum tinus that we've grown on. It's very, very small. That was going to be there, but it's going to take years for that to establish, let's face it, and we can have better use for that. So we'll do something else with that. In the meantime, I'll place it back on the soil there. But we will do something else with that. But as I say, the buddleia was around the corner. It's a lovely white variety. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but white buddleias are really, really beautiful. Buddleias are also known as the butterfly bush. Very important to have in the garden. Butterflies love them. Butterflies love a lot of plants, but they really do seem to go for that shrub. I know that with the manure, the plants will thrive. The reason why we use, also Paul has been doing some splitting of the Alchemilla mollis as well. So in this area, this will be full of Alchemilla. It's actually underneath here. So you can see it emerging through there, but there is a few other clumps as well. You can see it there, look. There's a few other clumps. And so this area will be full of Alchemilla mollis. Beautiful and jewel-like raindrops. When you have raindrops on them, after it's been raining, beautiful. It's known as lady's mantle as well. It's really beautiful dew-like raindrops when it's been raining. Really beautiful to look at, stunning, with acid green flowers when it does flower. It's quite a self-seeder, so it's one of those, once it's flowered and everything starts to go brown, I'd sort of like get in there with the secateurs and cut everything back. You'll get fresh foliage, but it's better than having Alchemilla mollis just running through your garden, which you wouldn't necessarily want a whole garden filled with it. Now, Crocosmia is coming up there. We've got Babylon coming through. All these lovely new plants emerging. My favourite grass, absolute favourite of all grasses, Stipa tenuissima. And my favourite grass of all time, I was having to think of the name for a second, but Stipa tenuissima. And that's going to be great. We used to at times give this just a sort of like a hair comb, because you might remember, I've sat here on other videos and you've ended up with it frothing over the top there, over the path. It's really beautiful. But what happens is, it's okay giving it a bit of a comb through. You really need to cut it back. I think it looks better. It can grow in poor soils, okay? So you don't really need to feed it. We just feed the whole garden, but it's not something that you do need to feed. It can grow in poor soils, but it's the most beautiful grass. I just love that frothy feel, especially when it's blowing in the wind. I remember going to Liverpool a few years ago, and I'd taken a picture of it. It was planted en masse, and it was just blowing in the wind. I think it was a nice day like this, I can't remember, but I do remember it blowing in the wind, and it's just such a beautiful plant. We love to have it in the garden. Tulips doing well there, they're coming through. This area has changed a lot. You might have heard us mention about the painting of the summer house. Really beautiful colour on there. That looks so much better than it did before. And the thing is, in the garden, it's just going to keep getting better and better. You know, that's why you're on this journey with us. Follow the journey, see what happens. Gardening is never ending. It's a book, chapters in a book that never really ends. And sometimes, even when we're no longer here and someone else takes over our gardens, that's their chapter, their chapters in a book, and their journey, and it's just never ending, and the possibilities are endless. You know, you probably find in 10, 15 years time, or even less than that, the changes that we're making in the garden now, we'll be making more, and that's the beauty of it. It shouldn't stay the same. We don't want it to become stagnant. We want to do different things and try different things. And I've seen pictures recently. Our friend who was born in this house and grew up here sent a picture to us of the old apple tree that used to be here, and there was a swing there, and all this was grass. This whole area was grass all the way to the fence at the back, and it was a very different fences along here. High fence at the back, slightly higher fence here. You had grass all the way to there, and it was just like thin narrow borders, very different, and a beautiful apple tree filled with blossom. Really beautiful picture, and it just shows how gardens evolve over time, because it was taken a long time ago when she was a teenager, and it just shows that things are constantly changing, and this garden won't always look the same. It's not going to look the same soon, and you know, when we're no longer here, it'll also not look the same again. There's just so many changes going on, and I just wanted to share that with you after coming in from work, getting changed and getting out here in the garden. I thought we're going to do a video because I wanted to show you what's been happening so much. It's absolutely amazing, so exciting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. It's really appreciated. Please hit the like button. Any comments, drop them in the comments box below, and remember to share our videos on social media. If you know any friends or anyone that likes gardening or is interested in gardening for the first time, send our videos to them, and hopefully they will like them as much as you do. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you very, very soon on the next one with hopefully even more updates. Thank you for watching.